Hello, Internet Nation. Alexander here, and I just wanted to vent about something that's been on my mind since like earlier today when I saw a tweet of a woman beating her child with the question, is this discipline or is this abuse? And a lot of the comments were saying that it's discipline. And I am too petty for this conversation because I view beating your child as abuse. Mind you, she wasn't even just like, she had a belt in her hand and was grabbing him up and then getting in his face like she was gonna fight him. She called him a nigga and said, "You fuck up one more time, it's you and me," while all up in his face, and said that she was going to break his face. A child, like, I cannot imagine saying those things to a young individual who is in their developmental years, who is looking at you as a source of life. I can't imagine saying those things to the person that I grew in my body and then pushed out of my body, looking him dead in the eye, to say that I will break his face. Like, over 70% of the comments were saying that that was just discipline. I'm not going to sit here and act like gentle parenting is the only way to parent a child. Maybe some people are not and have no intention of raising functional adults. But the fact that so many black men, I didn't get back to it, but the reason I feel like I'm too petty for the conversation is because if you believe in beating children, I believe in beating you. So if I get mad and I have anger issues and can't imagine hurting a child with my anger issues, like, it's been a few months of me actively being put through torture on a daily basis for me to get to the point where I'm like, I'm having thoughts about hurting these animals and cannot imagine doing that to your child. And the fact that so many guys think that that's normal, think that that's okay, makes me very sad, because it's normal to them. It's what they experienced. And it's like, I reposted the video on my Twitter and basically made the point that, like, how can we expect our black men, specifically in this topic? The person in the video was black. I grew up in a black household. Like, before anybody tries to say it, like, my dad used to beat me, and my dad beat me up until the point where he beat me and I didn't cry. He beat me and my cousin and I didn't cry. And after that point, he hasn't beat me again. I assume he just figured it was like, I don't know if I never did anything that warranted him thinking I needed to be beat, or if he just wasn't going to waste his time because I had mastered the ability to turn off my pain receptors. Because, you know, sometimes that happens. It's called trauma. Say it with me now. It's called trauma. The ability to turn off your pain receptors so you can't feel getting hit because you've been hit so many times. That's called trauma. That's not a good thing. You should be able to feel how your body feels. You shouldn't be able to turn that off. You shouldn't lose that ability because you have been hit so many times. I don't know why that needs to be said. But niggas think it's acceptable. They think it's okay. And I'm here to tell you, you've been abused. And it makes me sad, because how can we expect our black males to grow up into black men when this is love to them? This is communication to them. This is talking to them. Because the only emotion they can express is anger, because like I wanted to put the video in the beginning so you know what I'm talking about, but I don't want that on my channel. I guess go to my Twitter, the Gross Demon, and look at my tweets. You'll see it there. I don't want that on my channel. Barely wanted that on my Twitter. But why are we surprised? Over 70%. And I didn't even want to keep scrolling because I had to say something, because I was so upset that so many guys were saying that was not. I'm 30 years old. I've seen a lot of things. I've seen so many fight videos. I've seen a variety of fight videos. I've seen niggas that can't fight. I've seen niggas that don't know what they're doing. I've seen a nigga that was just talking shit and didn't realize he was about to get his shit rocked. I'm telling you, the only time you see somebody up in somebody's face like that is when they're about to fight. Like, poor boy was breathing in his mom's CO2. And the fact that so many people can't recognize, like, there were a few people in the comments that said what she said was wrong, but what she did was alright. Mind you, like, we don't even know what the boy did in the video. Like, maybe, like, I don't know, you tell me, oh, he was molesting girls. Like, it was looked like a grade schooler. You tell me he was molesting girls. You tell me he was trying to rape somebody in the back of gym class. You tell me he was, I don't know, sending dick pics to his things. Why is everything sexual assault with me? I don't know, because, like, it's something like sexual assault. Like, you were going that far out of your way to hurt another person on a physical and psychological level that would make me as a parent so mad that I had to come to your school to beat the hell out of you, to threaten you, to tell you that you were going to be locked in your room till you die, that I'm going to break your face, that I am going to fight you. My child, not even my spawn, who is an adult, who is a teen, my child. Are we seeing the problem? And mind you, right now, I'm only talking about black males. I'm only talking about black males right now. I'm only talking about us. Alright? I'm not take my Spanishness out of this. I'm coming at you as a full nigga right now. Only talking about us. Because I've grown up in this. I have experienced it. I have seen the way the toxic masculinity has hurt my little brother. I don't get it. And I have anger issues. I want to swing on a nigga so easy. You fucking say the wrong thing to me and I want to swing on you. And this is why they're so fucked up. This is why. they out here raping niggas. This is why they out here using coercion. This is why they fucking mama's boys. This is why they're so fucked up. Because this is normal to them. Because abuse is love to them. You can't even be surprised. You can't even be surprised when we are putting our hands on children like this. When we are saying such things. When we are just threatening to not only hurt, but break, kill our children. Not even on some joking, I made you, I can unmake you, I could put you back where you came from type bullshit. On some, I will hurt you, I will kill you in a painful way. I do not care if you look at me as your God. I do not care if a parent's job is to protect and guide. I don't give a fuck. I will not see your shortcomings as my shortcomings. And if I do, I choose to get mad because you are exposing me as a bad parent. Therefore, I must inflict pain on you because there's nothing you can tell me that's gonna not convince me that a child, any action a child can take that you think warrants putting your hands on said child is not a fault of you. I don't know what to tell you. You raised the motherfucker. You raised the motherfucker. And even worse, if it's a young child, they are doing as you do. Not as you say, as you do. So clearly, they were learning from you. So maybe before you, an innocent child. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you to cut yourself, but you should hurt yourself before you hurt your child. Look inward and go. What am I doing wrong as a parent that is causing my child to X, Y, and Z? Because I do not think that little boy was molesting anyone. I don't think he stole the money from the fucking treasury. I don't think he crashed the school bus. It sounded like he was just acting up in school. I wish I had more details, but I feel like there is not much that can warrant doing that and saying that, because you are not only disciplining your child, but embarrassing your child. And it's like you can see on the school staff's face how much they don't know what to do. But what can you do? Like, the mom was clearly, I can't even be that mad at the mom, because as a black woman in the black community, nobody is safe. Nobody's, as I told you, my dad beat me. The way he beat my brother, the way he beat my younger sister. Because that's what black people do. That's, I don't want to say the culture, but that's the culture. Because it is the culture. Because niggas believe in beating the fuck out of their kids. Niggas believe in jumping their kids. That's why you're using a belt. That's why in all these cultures we're using weapons. You know that, right? Everybody knows about the fucking chancla. That's a weapon, my nigga. Your parents are beating you with a weapon. With the fucking leather belt, when you gotta go out and pick your switch. That's not only physical, but mental, psychological abuse, because they're making you afraid. You gotta pick the weapon they use against you. And if you don't get a good enough weapon that's gonna hurt good enough, they hit you harder. They're children. And then we wonder why everybody's so fucked up. And then we wonder why nobody wants to take care of their parents when they get the fuck out of the house. And like, my dad beat me, but it had nothing to do with how I turned out as a person. It helped me inherit his anger issues, the way it helped my brother inherit his anger issues. You know, that little nigga was telling me he got suspended 35 times? You know how shocked I was when he said that? How many? Because of fighting? You know what makes it worse? Thank God I ain't grow up in that household. You what? You fighting? And he was telling me, it's the other niggas starting it. I'd probably be in jail right now because of my brother. Probably. I always think back to that one day where he was telling me how there was a kid that was bullying him and that he got in trouble because because he was getting bullied. Because, you know, black household, we don't give a fuck. We don't give a fuck. All we believe in is traumatizing our kids. I love my dad, but, you know, he's trying his best with the cards he was dealt, as are all our parents. But yes, I am saying I would have beaten the fuck out of the people who beat up my brother. I think about the time where I was supposed to go to a party with him, a school function, and he left me because I didn't wake up in time, and he came back telling me how his bully was there. I would have broke that kid's fingers right in front of his mom. What's our father gonna do? Beat me? Beat me because I beat up the kid? Because I physically and psychologically tortured the kid who was beating on my brother? He could try. Let me not even say that. I can say that now. I say that now. I always say that now. Last time he threatened to beat me was after I showed him my split tongue. And now it's just like, I'll go home. I will run. What the fuck do you think this is? What the fuck do you think this is? I don't gotta stay here. Threaten me like that. Threaten me again like that, nigga. Let me stop. I'd never fight my dad. I love my dad too much. But I see it. I see it in my little brother. It's the worst in the males, cause the girls, we the princesses. We the princesses. The boys, they gotta hide the emotions. They gotta act tough. They gotta XYZ. They gotta blah blah blah. They gotta take the beating. They gotta stop crying. Otherwise, they're gonna get a reason to cry. I mean that's you know what I mean. You know what I mean. But it's heartbreaking because it's a never-ending cycle. We keep doing it to our children and then wondering why they want to fucking leave us. I keep going off on tangents. I finally remember what the fuck I was saying. But yes, my dad beating me up until maybe like what? 11? How old is my sister? My brother's 20. I need to know this. I need to know this information because the last time my dad beat me, my second mom was pregnant with my younger sister. So if I could ever remember how old she is, then I will remember how long ago, maybe like 20 years or something? No, well, a little bit more than 20 years. It's been a little bit over 20 years since he beat me. So I was around 10-ish at the very least. Damn. I was around 10 when he stopped. My mom has never beat me, except for one time. I'm not going to say why, but she was very upset. Other than that, she's never beaten me. I have become a level-headed individual. Not that I was not a level-headed child, but I have become a level-headed individual without being physically abused. I'm a very unlevel-headed individual because I was mentally and verbally abused. And I have a high pain tolerance because I was physically abused and fucked up sexually because I was sexually abused. But like my dad didn't do any of that except for the physical. But we really can't be mad. I mean, we can't be mad. We need to be mad. Actually, we need to be mad. Can we get very mad right now? Because ladies, non-binary pals, transgendered pals, fellas, our brothers need us. Like, we can't keep letting them think this is normal. Because then what are they going to do when they find a jackass like me and they're like, oh, so you believe in beating kids? Instead of having a conversation to them about why what they did is wrong? Like, there are a few times, maybe, where you might need to put your hands on a kid, but I'm never going to condone verbal abuse. Like, I'm never going to condone threatening to kill your child, you know, I'm never going to condone that. I can maybe be open to physical, because sometimes it can kind of work depending on what you're aiming for, but I'm not going to get into that because I would like to nip the problem in the bud so that the child can grow to understand why certain things aren't acceptable. You know, behavioral issues past that, like once they understand that it's not acceptable and choose to do it anyway, that's a whole other conversation. If they're just a little shit, little demon child, little Damien, little 666 spawn of Satan, little how did we end up with the Antichrist? I'm listening. If it's just a regular old child, that's just like, oh, I wanted to do this, and I'm a child with no impulse control and or understanding of the world. Hi, I'm new here. I don't know how this shit works. I don't know the rules that your society made up. Let's start with the conversation first, you know, because you don't want to end up with a motherfucker like me that says, oh, so you believe in hitting children when you're angry. Well, cool. When I get angry, when you make me angry, I'll make sure to give you half a warning then. And swing with all my power. I usually hold back a lot of the time because I am a raging pacifist that does not like hurting others because I have a lot of rage on the inside and fear releasing that onto somebody because I will just and then wake up covered in blood. It's never happened before, but I'm like this close to being a serial killer, and my job makes it really hard to pry this space bigger because every day I think about killing animals. And if I was going to kill something, it would be a human male. That'd be the first thing. And I feel like I could come back from that. You know, like just one time. It was just once. It was an accident. Just a relapse of judgment, you know? There's no coming back from killing an animal. The apathy I would achieve from abandoning or hurting an animal. Like, there's literally a dog that I don't like being around because she tries to bite me. And mind aside, you know, mind that is overwhelmed, overstimulated, at wit's end, just wants to have a conversation with somebody, but everybody just wants to talk about how my day is going and what I'm doing. And oh my God, do you want to do something X, Y, and Z on this day? Do you want to think about the future? All that aside, I have a very traumatized body. You know, I stay in fight or flight mode, and this job does not help me get out of fight or flight mode. It keeps me in fight or flight mode. So I feel like one day that little dog is gonna bite me the wrong way. I'm gonna deck her. It's just gonna be instantaneously a reflex, if you will. Like the other day, I almost kicked her. Almost kicked her. I kicked her harness away. It was a very precise kick because she was very close to her harness. But she was threatening to bite me because I was trying to take her harness off of her. And I had a moment where it was like, oh yeah, she's just so precious. And then she looked at me and I was like, I got a flashback to when she jumped up and bit the chain off my face. Bit the chain off my face? Does that mean something to you? That dog bit the chain off my face? This is the second chain I've ever had to buy because she broke the first one and I lost it at their apartment. even though I thought I put it in my pocket. But does that mean anything to you? That she bit the chain off my face? The chain on my nose? That she bit that off my face? It means something to me. Doesn't mean anything to my boss, though, because she keeps sending me there, even though the dog keeps biting me. And I just try so hard to not deck her. Like, literally, I have meltdowns in their apartment because I just want to do my job. Like, literally, 2 days ago, I picked the dog up and she started flipping the fuck out and aggressively trying to bite me. And I wanted to just walk out the door. But I have this flailing dog in my arm and I have to hold her in a certain position so that she can't turn around and bite me. But I'm like, I need my phone, bro. And I need a hand to grab my phone because I don't want to just go outside and not have my phone so I can't tell if we've been outside for too long. It's like, I'm pretty sure I would still have anger issues. But it's the beating that really helps them stay in there. Really helps you get angry and puts you in a fight or flight mode, you know? Because sexual abuse is one thing. Maybe that's why I'm always worried that somebody's gonna hurt me. Because, like, when you get beat as a kid, a lot of the time it's without warning. Like, you don't understand why it's happening. You don't know what you did wrong. And now your parents are just hurting you. And not even allowing you the ability to express your pain and sadness. Because they beat you as hard as they can. A lot of times. It's never just that. Maybe a good pop in the mouth, but it's never just one slap on the butt. Never just one hit with the leather belt. Never just one hit with the chancla. So maybe that's why I feel like there's always somebody trying to. Granted, I am a conventionally attractive female-bodied individual. So there is that. Can't really, like, literally somebody followed me to my client's apartment today. Some guy that was standing on a corner. He said something to me, but I didn't hear him because I have my headphones in for a reason. And no matter how stupid people are and choose to ignore the fact that I am wearing headphones, I am wearing headphones. And I am not going to stop walking or pause the music for every fucking individual, especially since every fucking individual that randomly tries to talk to me is male. No thanks. Either you want my number or you want me to give you money. You can't have my number. I don't even have money. Stop reminding me that I'm poor. You're like the 5th nigga today that asked me for money. I am so over all the homeless people. Stop. Just stop. Especially if you're going to ask me a second time when I walk by. So I ignored him just to get to my client's house, lock the door behind me, which is like a glass door, turn around and see this nigga outside looking around sus-like. And I'm like, shit, this is my client's house, my nigga. Do you know how awkward it's gonna be if this nigga tries to break into my house, into their house? The dog wasn't even there at the time to bark and scare the nigga off. But I just feel like we need to stop normalizing this shit. We need to stop normalizing abuse because abuse is so normal in society, just in general, just society in general. Because, like, literally, think about it. How much sex have you had out of coercion? You know it's rape, right? That's just normal. Like, every nigga in high school is coercing somebody to sleep with them. A lot of niggas are coercing niggas to sleep with them. They don't care. Like, literally, niggas get mad at me all the time because I tell them it's $5,000 to sleep with me. But how are you gonna get mad when I say it's $5,000 after I told you no, I don't do that? You didn't accept no, so how am I a stupid slut that should kill themselves? Because you don't like that the price for me to not only violate my morals and sleep with you, a person I am not with, but break my celibacy for you, for your pleasure. I'm asexual. I don't even like sex like that. I don't even like sex like that. If you follow me on OnlyFans, how many times have you seen me fucking myself with a dildo? That's not what I be posting pictures because I just be chilling with that shit in there thinking about being used and shit. I'm not even into sex like that. I'm not even into penetration like that. So how you gonna tell me that I'm gonna enjoy the sex? Do you even know what you're doing? Are you even big enough to split me in half? Why are you telling me I'm gonna like it? That's rape. That's rape. People are too into rape. And if they out here thinking abuse is love, why are we surprised? Why are we actually? No. Because a little boy that gets molested by an older woman is a Chad, right? That twitch wasn't even intentional. That twitch wasn't even intentional. I saw my whole face just... Do you see the problem? We are literally abusing boys. Granted. I'm gonna need the good fellas to still holla up because society needs you. We need you right now. Because it's the traumatized niggas that are the loudest, that are the most prolific. They are everywhere. They are the majority. They are males. Because the good niggas are quiet as fuck. Honestly, you guys, Brooklyn Comic Con is coming up this weekend. I'll be there. I'll be dressed as Robin on Saturday and dressed as Boa on Sunday. Come say hi. Come ask me to step on you. Be prepared to pay. I will be looking for my Luffy, and once I find him, we shall go run off to the woods to run away from society because I'm tired of this shit. Like, this is why it's so fucking hard to find a decent guy. Because too many dudes never got a shot at being decent. Isn't that fucked up? It's like, it's 50% being a piece of shit and 50% being made a piece of shit. Because some of y'all are just pieces of shit and you can't even blame the trauma. Because, like, you can blame trauma so much, but at the end of the day, you're still the one choosing to tell somebody to kill themselves because they won't let you use them like a blow-up doll. And that's a personal choice that you made, because hopefully people aren't growing up in situations where their parents are teaching them that not having sex with somebody who wants to have sex with you is a thing worthy of telling them to commit suicide for. Hopefully. But a lot of it is personal choice. And we can't keep making these choices. Because it's like, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only AFAB person that feels that way. But the problem is, a lot of y'all choose to be pieces of shit, and it's hard to want to help you when you're attacking us for existing and not wrapping our pussies around your penises, you know? Then you just kind of enter the territory of guys that I want to shoot on sight. And would probably put in a gas chamber once I became dictator of the world. Which is a problem, because I believe in redemption. That's how bad some of y'all are. And we can only blame the parents so much. Because you have to want to realize that it's not okay to beat the shit out of your kids. You beat the pussy up. That's when you stop beating the pussy. Once the pussy like pops a human out of it, you can't beat the human up like it's a pussy. Which is kind of funny because a lot of people be calling their kids pussy. Which is abuse. Your kid being pussy stops taking effect once the egg and the sperm become a zygote. You know? I mean, granted, it was never a pussy when it was an egg or a sperm. If they just... Anyway, Until next time, Internet Nation, know that you are loved by this guy. And this guy. Oh, that's rain. I thought the fucking heater turned on. I was so confused for a second. Until next time, tell somebody that you love them and that you're proud of them, because some people have come very far with their trauma, and some people have realized that they came from a situation that was not so great, and they're choosing to not be that. And they need acknowledgement that they've come a long way, and they're doing great, because that is the only way that we can make change permanent and implement it to more people. Well, it's one of the only ways. Possibilities are endless. Until next time.